It's November 15th, 2019.
This is Nerd Bourbon episode 128. I am Seth Sturgill.
And I am Todd Sturgill. I don't know why I'm talking like that.
You sound invigorated. The energy of the gods.
You told me to get there, I got there.
Todd, it's been a special week. You want to know why?
Why?
It is the beginning. The beginning of the Star Wars holiday clusterfuck.
I know. It's
the beginning of my Star Wars holiday. Oh, I'm so ready, Todd. I'm so ready. We've welcomed into our arms this week our mouse-eared overlords with the arrival of Disney Plus.
God bless, yes.
And you know what? Maybe that's a good place to start the show this week. We have both had some experience now with Disney Plus. It launched earlier this week. We both instantly gave the Great Mouse our money.
Of course.
Offered our pittance to the Great Mouse.
The Great Mouse is our Lord and Savior.
And that was, probably the easiest subscription service I've ever signed up for. What are your thoughts? Disney Plus.
It's easy money for Disney to just play off everyone's nostalgia.
Well, dude, we were sitting there going through the list of the series and the movies they have on there.
Yeah.
On launch day.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We didn't realize how fucking crazy it was because we were just looking at the homepage, kind of the featured stuff. And even that, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. That's insane. And then my dumb ass went even deeper. And I was looking through all of it, from A to Z, which is the best way to see what they all had, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy shit.
It goes deeper.
I had to go deeper. And then we just real ethic shit. Honestly, my favorite moment was when my ass was like, gargoyles. They got gargoyles?
Yeah. I was like, they got gargoyles on there? Shit. And there were so many people, Todd, trying to watch gargoyles that you couldn't even access the gargoyles.
Dude, I swear to God. Because it's for a while there, I couldn't even get into the menu to add it to my watch list and shit. And I finally did get in. And I think I sent you a snap and I'm like, I got in, motherfucker!
Yeah. You're just like, I'm in!
Fucking instantly watched the first episode. Love it. I'll be slowly but surely watching all of Gargoyles again. I don't care.
It actually brought gargoyles to be trending on Twitter and shit.
Yeah, and even the creator of the show is reboot it, bitches.
That'd be interesting. It's one of those shows. I guess I didn't realize that gargoyles resonated with so many people.
Yeah, I think Gargoyles is way more. It was way more popular than you actually realize. Type of shit.
And they had all kinds of shit on there though. You were even jokingly sitting there oh fucking. I want to watch Kim Possible. I wish they had Kim Possible on there.
Bam, it's on there.
It's motherfucker, they do got Kim Possible on there.
Damn straight they do.
So, they have a little bit of everything on there. They got the new and old DuckTales on there, bitch.
I know.
There's so much stuff that I want to watch. There's no time to watch it.
It's actually overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because I was just God.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. The amount of shit that they have on there on launch day is insane. They actually revealed launch day numbers. I believe they launched on day one with 10 million subscribers.
Yeah. But it's that's not surprising to me.
No, it's not. It's not, and of course, the original programming is exciting. There's The Mandalorian, obviously, which premiered on there. And there's an episode we're actually doing, for the first time ever, we're doing an episode-by-episode shot series on The Mandalorian. So episode 1 is already live. Our kind of review of the first episode already live, up on SoundCloud, iTunes, wherever you're listening to this now. It is live there. We've both, obviously, I don't want to, go listen to that if you want our full thoughts, obviously, but The Mandalorian is let's just say it's worth it.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. Check it out.
Disney Plus so far has been well worth the wait. But Todd, let's get into some video games. What have you been playing this week?
Call of Duty, honestly. Just a lot of Call of Duty.
That's about it.
Just like in my like random bouts of like I've been doing like a lot of like 10, 12 hour shifts at work and just like come home and just fucking brainlessly play Call of Duty. Working on like getting my like guns leveled up and like my kits fully kitted out and all that shit essentially. Because I'm essentially I have finished my AUG. I finished up like how I want that like kitted out to the point where I actually saved it as a custom mod. So I can just easily put that on like another class, like bam, done. If I ever want to switch it out.
What you've really been waiting for is today's release of Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, that's really what I have been waiting for, and like it's essentially been, I've been in an existential just dead time from like, it's not been good. It's not been good at all. I've been
Stays that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Stays that way between video game releases.
Well, for me especially because I just don't play as many games, and
broaden your horizons, Todd.
I can't
broaden them.
The horizons.
Widen that net.
Because here's the thing: I don't. The games that I want to play are too big, and I just choose not to do it.
Well, it sounds to me, Todd, like it's your own damn fault.
Damn straight, and I accept that. I accept that fact. But yeah, just been playing a lot of Call of Duty. Same shit, different day. Just getting annoyed with some of the camping. That's
still
honestly,
a problem.
Oh my god! So I will bring this up. So this is without a doubt some of the worst camping that I've ever seen in any video game. I don't remember the name of the map, but it's a map that I play on. It's like, it's pretty. If the map's like, I play on it almost too much. It's one of those like that you. I'm trying to think of that Modern Warfare 2 map. It reminds me of how I used to always play on that one. It's kind of how I feel with this map. I don't know if you remember the one I'm talking about. It's the one in Modern Warfare 2 where it's there's like a broken down like plane.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
a crashed plane. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So it's like, I swear to God, you always used to get that map. That's how this map is. You're always on this goddamn map. It's annoying. So there's a cave and a tunnel system and shit, but there's a well that leads into the cave system. So I'm gonna sneak in through that way, get into the cave system, fuck some people up. I jump down there, instantly die to a claymore that somebody has placed at the entrance to that tunnel. But then not only that, the man is sitting in there. I see him as with my, I'm just dead already, but I'm looking in there, and you just see him chilling with a fucking shotgun. And I'm just like, oh my god. Like I think my reaction was just like, Jesus Christ. Like I was just like, you got to be kidding me. The camping is. I understand where it's coming from, because it's like people are just so used to having dead silence and shit. Like they're just too fucking scared to like play normally. It doesn't bother me. Just fucking play, assholes. Like, I haven't changed the way I play. I don't care. I still have fun with the game. It's just everybody else is just camping up a damn storm.
Now, again, as you said, you've just been patiently awaiting the release of Jedi Fallen Order and Pokemon Sword and Shield, which both come out today.
Yes.
At the time you're listening to this. We will, of course, be covering that next week on the show, because we post the shows on Fridays like idiots. We, of course, have not had the chance to play them yet. But
have you ever thought about changing the day? No, I'm just playing.
I mean, not really. I mean, I don't think it would really do us any good to do that.
This far in.
It's not even just that. It's just like the release schedule. You're always going to be behind regardless.
Yep.
Like you're never going to be right on the money with it unless you got early access to the games. Which, hey, maybe one day. But those games are out now at the time of this recording. The time you're listening to this, they're out now, and we will certainly be covering them next week on the show in detail. Todd,
you more than likely will be talking about Pokemon. I might not have touched it by next week.
You don't think in a week you'll have touched Pokemon at all?
Because I'm gonna go fully. I mean, we'll see. I'm probably, because I'm planning on going fully Star Wars.
You're full. You're full, Todd.
I can't balance games like that. I got to do one and then the other.
Oh no, I'm doing both. See, the way I'll tell you exactly the way it's gonna go for me. I'm going to be playing Fallen Order predominantly when I'm at home. And then there's going to be some times when I have to go out of the home into the vicious outside world where the vile sun beats down upon my flesh. And for that, I will have my Switch with me and I'll be playing Pokemon. I'm very excited.
I don't have that problem, so
I never leave that. No, I'm very much looking forward to it. We're going to talk about both of those games next week on the show. But for me, it's been the same thing, just with different games. So I think I mentioned last week on the show, I was like, I'm going to try to beat Outer Worlds, and then I kind of gave up the ghost on that because I realized how much more game I had ahead of me.
You probably could have rushed the story, but the way that you're playing it,
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not. Of course I could have. There's shit. I think there's like a 19-minute speed run or something like that of that game. I mean, I really, if I wanted to, I could have rushed through the end, but I don't want to do that. I play those games very methodically. I take my time with them. I'm trying to do all the side content and stuff like that, so I'm not going to rush through it. So that kind of, once I had that realization of like, okay, I'm not going to really, worry about Outer Worlds. That game's not going anywhere. I'll come back to it. I was sort of like, all right, let me dig a little bit deeper into Luigi's Mansion, because when I talked about it very briefly last week, I'd only put about an hour into it, and now I've put about 15 hours into it, and I'm actually pretty close to the end of the game, and I really, really love this game. I just wanted to circle back to it and talk about it a little bit more now that I've spent some more time with it. It honestly is like one of the best games on Switch, I think. It's really good. I have a couple of minor issues with the game, but for the most part, I mean, it's to me, by far the best game in the Luigi's Mansion series. So if you're a fan of the series, like, what are you doing? Like, you should already own this. A little bit of a problem with some of the puzzles. Like, I think some of the puzzles are a little obtuse in the game. Like, some of the way that you find some of the gems are, like, really kind of, like, they're reaching with some of this shit. Some of the puzzles that you have to solve and stuff. Now, some of them are well designed where you're kind of like, oh, okay. But a lot of times you're, like, scratching your head and you're just, like, you kind of, like, accidentally stumble onto the solution. But I'll say this. One of the things that I like about the game a lot is there are only so many moves that you have available to you at any given time. So you can beat your head against something, but there's only so many different things you can do. Eventually you're going to come across it if you just kind of try everything. So a lot of times that's what I find myself doing. But man, the animations are like out of this fucking world. Like, Next Level Games just gets Luigi. I wish Nintendo would just let these dudes just make like a Luigi movie, like an animated movie. Like, the game looks that good. Just graphically and in terms of the animation quality, it is like so good. The boss fights are fantastic. Every single one that I've done so far has been really inventive and really fun and like not really frustrating and just like fun to figure out. Really great highlight boss fights. The floors in this hotel are like so varied. I'm not going to like go into deep spoilers, but my favorite one so far was like this movie theater, like production company floor that was filled with like Easter eggs, and like the structure of it was almost like an adventure game. It was really cool. And the game is just filled with like surprises on each floor. One thing that is a little bit weird, so like, you know how I obsessively fucking play video games. I'm sitting here, I'm sucking everything, Todd.
I know.
I'm sucking it all. I suck everything in sight. And as a result, the game has currency. You can like suck up like money and gold bars and diamonds and stuff like that. And like, you accumulate all of this money and there's no real use for it. Like, there is like an in-game shop, but the stuff there is pretty cheap, and they're kind of, you can only buy 3 things. You can buy gold bones, which is almost like if you die, you get a revive, basically. You can buy a Boo Finder, which you don't really need if you just play the game right. You don't really need the Boo Finder. And same with the Gem Finder, which is another thing you can buy, and they're not even that expensive. So you just have like all of this money with nothing great to spend it on. I would have loved to be able to spend it on like upgrades to my Poltergust or something like that, but that's not really a thing. But no, it's great. Luigi's Mansion 3 is a great game. Small issues aside, it is definitely something. If you're a fan of the series, you got to pick it up. I want the game to do well. I want to see them continue on with this series. I was talking to my buddy Provost, and he had a cool thought where he was like, I would love to see them for like Luigi's Mansion 4. I would love to see them go like pseudo open world with it.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really interesting. They're kind of like slowly but surely moving in that direction anyway. Like he mentioned, like it would be so cool if Luigi's Mansion 4 was set in like an abandoned amusement park and it was like pseudo open world.
Wow, that'd be kind of cool.
I was like, yeah, I'd be all about that. Cause like the logic just goes out the fucking window with this game, dude. Like some of the floors are so ridiculous. It's like, what kind of fucking hotel is this? So they clearly don't care about that shit. Anyway, the rambling aside, Luigi's Mansion 3 is great. Everybody go play it. If you have a Switch, I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of the series, gotta play it. It's a must play. I think it's the best of the three. I definitely like it more than 1 and 2. So, and I will hopefully have it finished soon if Fallen Order and Pokemon don't take me fully away from it. But that's about it. I've just been playing that, kind of impatiently waiting for those two games to come out. Todd, you ready for some news?
Yeah, boy.
Todd, a new trailer for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie did drop this week, which showcased Sonic's redesign for the first time. We had some leaks that I chose not to cover on the show because the legitimacy of them was in question. But now we have officially seen the redesign and got a new trailer to boot. Did you watch the trailer?
I did.
What'd you think of it?
It sparked joy. No.
It kind of looks good now. Like, it's weird.
It's so weird. It's just how fucking, just that trash design. Just, ugh. I forgot how garbage it was. And
It was
saw
bad.
I saw the image from the image of the fucking old design from the back, and I was like, ugh, fuck.
When you see the comparisons, it's really striking how bad the original design was.
It's like, what were they thinking?
But even aside from the design itself, like the tone of it just looks fun. Like the movie actually looks legitimately fun and good. Like I was pretty shocked by the trailer. I was like, damn, this doesn't look bad. I still don't like the whole alien angle they're playing with Sonic.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
That's still weird to me. The whole like, oh, your planet and my planet. I'm like, that's weird. I don't like that. Why can't it just be like alternate realities? Which is what it seems like, because he's in Green Hill Zone clearly in the trailer we see. And it's actually a really cool, like it actually looks like a really good approximation of Green Hill Zone from the game.
Yeah.
And then we see him land in like the real, quote unquote, real world where he's in Green Hill, which is like a city name in the real world or whatever, you know? So lots of little Easter eggs to look out for in the trailer. It was a cool trailer. Interestingly, I don't know if you saw this, it was revealed that Tyson Hess was brought on. He was actually the lead art director for the redesign. Mm-hmm. And for those that don't know, he actually was the artist for the Sonic comic book series.
Mm.
So they actually brought him in for the redesign. And this is something that Sonic Team has done a lot lately, where they're kind of bringing in fans. Like, what was the guy's name? I think his name's Christian Whitehead, the guy that they brought in. Basically, he was making that fan game for Sonic, and they brought him in basically to spearhead Sonic Mania, which was obviously a huge success for them. And now they've got this guy coming in to help with the movie. It's kind of cool to see that they're actually bringing in people who are clearly passionate about Sonic. I'm not a big Sonic guy, but it's cool for the fans. And everybody wants this to cross over with Detective Pikachu and make a Smash Brothers movie.
No.
That's so dumb.
No.
This is the start of the Smash Brothers cinematic universe.
Smash! No, we don't need that.
Oh, moving on, Todd. It sounds like you're in trouble whenever Diablo 4 eventually releases.
I already know.
Yeah, I had to message you when I first read that. I was like, oh, you're fucked, boy.
I know.
Because during a Q&A at BlizzCon last week, Blizzard was asked how they would be monetizing to the game, to which they replied, quote, Diablo 4 will be available as a base game and, ellipsis, we're going to have expansions. You will also be able to acquire cosmetics in the game, end quote. Cosmetic microtransactions coming to Diablo 4, Todd. Thoughts?
I'm fine with it.
I know you're fine with it. But do you worry about your soul? Do you worry about your damned soul?
Again, the image that I sent you was like a man taking like a little bit of cash out the wallet, and then just the whole wallet getting taken. Yeah.
Do you worry about the rapture of your wallet?
I do. I love cosmetics, man.
You love cosmetics and you love microtransactions.
I don't love microtransactions.
Oh, bitch, please. You love them.
I don't
thrive on them.
I would say I thrive on them.
And now your judgment day is upon you.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, that shit hurt my soul when you messaged me about it. I was like, oh.
I wonder how hard they're going to go with this, man. Because I've been a man. I've been known to buy some skins myself, but I'm not as bad as you.
Embrace it.
Step into the light. I'm not looking forward to like jumping on Diablo and just hearing that break in your voice when you tell me how much money you spent since last we played.
$100.
You're just gonna be like, I'm gonna see you rocking some kind of new like armor set. Yeah, I spent a little more money last night. I'm ready for it. Anyway, charging right along through this news break, Todd. 5.5 long years after its initial release in June 2014. Way back, over 5 years ago. The final piece of Shovel Knight DLC will finally be releasing very soon. Yacht Club confirmed this week that the King of Cards expansion, Shovel Knight Showdown, as well as the slew of Shovel Knight amiibo, will all release on December 10th, thus ending the seemingly endless development of Shovel Knight. It's kind of bittersweet, man. Like, I feel bad for Yacht Club because they have been working on all of this shit basically for free.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really just to deliver on, like, Kickstarter promises, which, 5.5 years later, it's like, you almost don't expect them to go through with it, but they did. They have gone through and delivered on everything. And, like, didn't half-ass any of it. And it's weird that it's finally coming to a close. Since that game came out, I own Shovel Knight. As you know, I own Shovel Knight on like every available platform.
I know you do.
And I feel like Shovel Knight has like always been a part of my life. Like, I feel like I've always had a Shovel Knight expansion on the horizon. It's almost like when you're waiting for a package, Like when you're just kind of like, okay, yeah, like I have something coming in the mail soon. I feel like I've always had Shovel Knight coming in the mail soon. And it's weird that now it's ending. It's weird that feeling is going to go away soon because the final bit of DLC is coming. And I mean, it's going to be a huge drop. I'm looking forward to playing through King of Cards, and Shovel Knight Showdown might be a fun, like, kind of local multiplayer thing. Maybe bring that along with me to PAX and see how that goes in the drunken hotel room night sessions, which sounded dirtier than I intended it. Covered in our own filth. No, I'm just kidding.
Shit. No, I want to be covered in some filth. No, I'm just
It's weird. It's all coming to a close. Shovel Knight DLC. If you guys have not picked up Shovel Knight Treasure Trove yet, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just grab it.
I'm humbled over people that don't give a shit about Shovel Knight stuff.
It's just such a great game and like such a great deal.
But I don't like side scrolling.
That's fine. But I think there are a lot of people that do that still. If you like side-scrolling, classic-style, like NES-style games, and you have not still played Shovel Knight, like, reevaluate your life.
I still need to beat it. I want to play it. I just never get around to it. I own it.
I know. And then in the same breath, you'd be like, I have nothing to play. I'm so depressed. Nothing's out. And I'm like, Todd, your backlog.
I don't think about my backlog.
Tackle the backlog.
My backlog is a backlog for a reason.
It stays in the back. It goes to the garage and it sleeps out there with no dinner. I don't understand
where the trash games go to die. No,
What games? What are the biggest games on your backlog?
Oh God.
What are the biggest ones off the top of your head where you're like, "Fuck, I really should go and play that"?
Shovel Knight's one of them. Hollow Knight's in there technically.
Yeah. Death's Gambit.
Shit, yeah, Death's Gambit's on there.
Vayne.
Oh fuck, Vayne's over with.
There's no hope for Vayne.
There's no hope for Vayne.
It's not even in the backlog anymore.
This fucker got kicked out the garage.
Yeah. Took it outside of the garage and shot it in the head. Left it in the alley.
See, I'm trying to think what else is in my backlog.
I know every time you get into a slump and you're like, oh, I want to play something, I'm like, you still haven't played Telltale Batman.
Yeah, that's dead.
That's dead too?
Yeah.
Ay.
It's all dead, Seth. It's dead like my heart.
I'm dead, so. Anyway.
I think I bought that game too.
I think you do. I think you own it.
Fuck.
Anyway, so this is the first time we've ever done this. We've talked about this often on the show, the podcaster's curse, especially when you cover news and video game news and stuff like that. We always end up doing this where we record the show and then the next day shit breaks, like big news breaks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this week, because technically we were going to record this yesterday.
At the time of this recording.
Right, we were going to record this on Wednesday, all right? And which is when we normally record the show, by the way, is on Wednesdays. And then, like, that gives me a day to edit and we post on Friday. So, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, let me, like, go through the news sites, see if there's any last-minute things I want to add to the news drop this week. And I see that something was happening today, Thursday, that I had no idea was even a thing. It's like the XO19 event in London. And that it was leaked that there was going to be a new IP reveal from Obsidian and Rare. And it was as if I had like a fucking... It was a That's So Raven moment, Todd. I saw into the future. I saw that I was about to get like ran over by a car, and I'm like, hang on, I have the opportunity to push myself out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit you up and I told you about this, and I'm like, Todd, I have a dilemma. I think we're going to have to record tomorrow after this event happens.
Yeah.
So that's what we ended up doing. And indeed, it ended up being a good idea because we have some announcements to cover.
Yes, we do.
Some interesting, some not so interesting. It was a little bit of a short news break today, and just the fact that we didn't have a whole lot of games that we're playing. Todd and I are both just tapping our feet, waiting for Fallen Order and Pokemon. So you can definitely expect a longer episode next week, but this one might fall on the shorter side. And I think that's okay every now and then. I don't have a problem with it. But let's cover this Xbox news, Todd. So, first thing I have here that I took note of was a new IP from Rare that was unveiled during this called Everwild.
And honestly, it was probably the highlight for me.
It's really cool looking.
Yeah.
I knew when I heard that Rare was unveiling something, I knew not to get my hopes up. I wasn't even gonna utter the B word. Wasn't going to invoke his name. So I knew.
Seth, can I tell you something?
What?
You're never gonna get a Banjo game ever again.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. You foolish bitch. So everybody mark this, episode 128. This clip is going to be inserted into the episode where a new Banjo game is revealed. Ooh, Todd. Ooh, Todd, it's gonna taste so sweet. Anyway,
It'll be good. A good comedy. We go. Continue.
Anyway, they did not unveil a new Banjo game. They unveiled an entirely new IP called Everwild, which we don't really know much about. We just got kind of a cinematic trailer for it, but I'll say this, it's beautiful.
It's very, very aesthetically pleasing.
It is beautiful. Can I just say something, though, just real quick? Why do I feel like a lot of Xbox games have that sort of cartoony, like, pseudo cel-shaded look to them?
I don't know.
Because that other game they showed, like Dark Hollow or whatever it was, that like survival game.
Dude, even here's the thing, even Grounded was like that. All those games were essentially like that.
It's weird. It's weird. Like, I don't know. So, and we'll get to Grounded next, but otherwise, I really loved the design. So this looks to me like it's going to be, we saw multiple characters in the trailer. So I'm assuming this is going to be kind of piggybacking off of their experience with Sea of Thieves. I'm assuming that this is going to be something of a cooperative open world game. Mm-hmm. But it looks like it's taking inspiration from like Breath of the Wild or like Princess Mononoke a bit. Like, it definitely has that aesthetic to it.
Just the animals in the game are just like very, very interesting.
The animal designs were really cool. There were like these deers where their antlers were like ears that like unfolded,
almost like flowers in a way.
Yeah, like it was interesting looking.
And they got these
little pig boars, like pig boars with like mouse noses.
Adorable, absolutely adorable.
It was really interesting. So again, we don't know much. We don't even know like a release date. I'm assuming this is going to be a Scarlet game. But yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on. Next up, we got Grounded by Obsidian, which is the first Xbox exclusive game that they have coming out, and it is a survival game. So, and what we mean by this is sort of in the vein of like Ark or Rust or something like that.
The four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah. So
open world survival. What is it?
Pretty much, yeah. And so this is a game where you play as like children who are like very small, like blade of grass small.
It's Rust meets Honey I Shrunk.
Yeah, meets Honey I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah, like Honey I Shrunk the Griefers, kind of shit. But it's gonna be like an interesting, like you're fighting off bugs. Spiders. I was actually kind of intrigued by it until we saw clips of the building mechanics.
Again, it's like that's where I just like my thing with survival games. I just hate the building.
I'm just not into that. I never have been.
I'll say this, out of the survival games, I respect I respect the what they're going for with like being tiny as fuck. I think that's cool. But other than that, it's like
it's an interesting angle visually. I do wonder what the kind of structure of the game is going to be. Is it going to be random maps? Like, is it going to be server based? How do we know? Like, is placement of stuff in the actual world, is that going to be different per game, or like what's the deal?
Yeah. That'd be interesting to find out more. But other than that, my final thought on that game is just like it's just another drop in the bucket of survival games.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is we saw just in this presentation alone had to have been at least 3 different survival games.
Yep.
Between that, Dark Hollow, and like some others that I can't even remember. Like, and then Rust is coming to Xbox One. Like, it's the same thing that I said about Battle Royale. Like, the cream is going to rise to the top, and everybody else is going to lose, and everybody else is going to fade. And that's all there is to it. You cannot have too many of these games. I'm sorry. Like, you cannot overflood and saturate the market with this shit. You're all entering the same arena, and only one of you is going to come out victorious. 2 if you're lucky.
Thunderdome.
Pretty much. So, and you got to do something really special to keep that ball rolling and to keep players interested. And that actually might be a good segue into the next game I want to talk about, Bleeding Edge.
Yeah.
Bleeding Edge, if you don't remember, we covered this last E3 when it was revealed. Bleeding Edge is the new game from Ninja Theory, which is a 4v4 character action brawler. And look, I think we both agree that the character designs are stellar in this game.
Like, yeah, some of the best character design I've seen in a game in a while. Like, that
Really good.
Every single one of them looks like interesting. Like, I want to check them out, you know?
Very interesting, very unique. I think another thing, we actually, for the first time, saw a little bit of gameplay today, which was really cool. And it sort of is different than I thought. First of all, I thought it was going to be first person.
I actually respect that it's third person.
It is a third person brawler, and the thing that does sort of separate it, I think, from the competition a little bit is the fact that it is a brawler. It's melee based.
Yeah, from they imply that there is going to be some ranged with the newer character. Where they said some shit about like her being like a hybrid or some shit.
Yeah, there's going to be some ranged characters, but it is not like a shooter. Like this is a game where you like get up and punch people. Like it's interesting. But I do wonder, like, when you enter the fucking arena again, and you're talking about these other like character action games, Overwatch and Paladins and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's difficult to carve out your own niche.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wonder how that game's gonna do. I'm definitely interested. Look, it's coming to Game Pass. It's from Ninja Theory. Ninja Theory's never made a bad game. I'm definitely going to have my eye on it. They gave it a release date actually today of March 24th with a beta taking place on February 14th. So that might be something to look into to actually get your hands on the game and try it out. But otherwise, I don't know, man. I don't know. I want it to do well. I'm rooting for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. Like, it might be something I can get into, but we'll see.
There's a couple like smaller announcements that I didn't really even throw into the news drop. We got a new game from the makers of Life is Strange, Don't Nod, coming out. It's called? Like Tell Me Why, I think.
Yeah.
That looks somewhat interesting. It's going to be an episodic game again, but apparently all 3 episodes of the game are going to drop next summer, so they're not going to.
I think a lot of people are going to be looking at that game for one reason.
Yeah, because the character's transgender, right?
Yep.
That's interesting. That is something that Don't Nod is good at. Don't Nod is good at tackling difficult subject matter elegantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the first season of Life is Strange, and like they handled really tough shit in that game pretty well. And obviously when you're tackling transgenderism, like that is a subject that is fucking like that's some tough ground to cover right there.
Yeah.
So you gotta be fucking careful. You know what I mean? So, we'll see how they handle that. But yeah, there's a couple other things. So like a bunch of Final Fantasy games coming to Xbox Game Pass. Final Fantasy 7 through 15 are going to be added to Game Pass in the coming months, which is interesting. In fact, I think they're actually including like the 13 trilogy and all that shit, like the Lightning Returns and all that. Interestingly, there are some games getting added to Game Pass today at the time of this recording. So that game Remnant from the Ashes was added. Rage 2 was added. And those are like kind of some big ones that were added today. And then by the end of 2019, The Witcher 3 will be added to Game Pass.
No.
Yeah, I know, Todd. I know. In 2020, Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2 and Yakuza 0 will be added. And then, of course, the big one, the last bit of news that I wrote down here, and the thing that we've been looking forward the most to with Game Pass is that Halo Reach is finally getting added on December 3rd. Todd and I have a long and storied history of playing Halo games in co-op together, so we have been very excited.
I wish we had like video evidence of like that playthrough of all the Halos.
Yeah,
because that shit was gold.
Yeah,
There was a lot of gold in that playthrough.
there was. I think for that reason, we could probably justify recording our Halo Reach playthrough, though.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
So, but that's all I got in terms of news. We had that event. You know what I do want to talk about just real quick before we wrap it up. Some stuff came out, and we've talked, I think, at length about Google Stadia, right? Because here's the deal, Todd. Google Stadia launches in just a few days now, and I feel like nobody gives a fuck.
Again, it'll go their way of their experiment into social media. Poof. Gone.
And, I predicted this. We both said, basically, as soon as they announced it, that it's just not the right time. They're not executing on it well enough. They're doing it at a poor time, and it's just not the time or place for something like Google Stadia. But even as bad as I thought they were already executing it, I don't know if you saw the launch lineup that they announced for it.
Isn't it only 4 games?
It's like 10 games, but none of them are good. Like, they're all
Lord.
old games. It's like Destiny 2 and like Assassin's Creed like Odyssey, and like I think there's one exclusive game and that's it. So besides the launch lineup being abysmal, there's even some more stuff that they did a Reddit AMA where they revealed some more things that are not going to be available at launch, and it's actually really ridiculous.
Oh, no.
So listen to this shit. On day 1, gameplay won't support 4K HDR or 5.1 surround sound. Those features will be added in 2020 for PC players. So you can't even play the games in 4K if you're on PC.
Wow.
The family sharing, which they were touting, it allows you to buy the game once and share it with like accounts held by family members.
Yeah.
Also not supported on day 1.
Of course.
It's going to be added early next year. There is no UI integration for achievements or achievement notifications.
So what you're saying, Google, is you should have just waited until next year.
Even the Buddy Pass that they were bragging about, that lets early adopters offer a free 3-month Stadia trial to a friend, will be sent about 2 weeks after you receive your bundle. Even that's not instant. Chromecast Ultra units included in the Founders Premier bundles are the only ones that will work with Stadia on day 1. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's a fucking disaster.
For the asinine amount of money that Google has.
It's a disaster. It was the wrong place, the wrong time, the wrong execution. Stadia's dead in the water. Dead in the water. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. If you had a passing interest in Stadia at launch, my recommendation is to just steer clear. I'm sorry. And then Microsoft is talking about another big part of their presentation at XO19 today was the Project X Cloud, but at least Microsoft is holding off on it and rolling it out slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft is not trying to come out swinging their dick about this. They're saying, hey, like, we're doing rollouts in 2020 with this stuff, and we're working with our major first-party like partners and stuff like that, and we're trying to do this right.
Yeah, that's how you can't just bam video game streaming. You got to roll it out to people slowly.
And they're going to be integrating it into Game Pass and stuff like that, where you can stream games on Game Pass from your phone and shit like that. Like, that's cool. That's really cool, and I like the way that they're handling that a lot more than just, hey, let's come out swinging with a brand new like console and shit. It's dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely dead in the water.
Well, dude, I've been saying it's dead in the water from the beginning.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Todd, before we wrap it up this week, I just wanted to shout out a few things that are live on the channel and that will be coming out on the channel. Obviously, we touched on The Mandalorian earlier in the show, but I did just want to stress that again. The first episode of that special Shots series is live. The second episode will be happening today on Friday, and every Friday continuing until the series is wrapped up, where we'll be doing a special episode of Shots on The Mandalorian. So, wanted to shout that out. I also want to shout out that Waterdeep Dragon Heist Shadow dropped 2 episodes of that last week. So, that was something. I know you guys waited patiently for episode 2 of Waterdeep Dragon Heist, so I said, you know what? Let me reward your patience by giving you 2 and 3. And here in the very near future, we will be getting together to record episode 4. So we're going to be doing Waterdeep Dragon Heist a lot more frequently, and getting those episodes out to you guys a lot more. And we're going to push through this story at a lot more regular clip. So I just wanted to stress that to the listeners at home. I've had a lot of people, a lot of friends reach out to me and be like, yo, I really love Waterdeep Dragon Heist. I really love the cadence and the rapport that you and Todd have.
Why are you lying? No, I'm just playing.
I have had like 4 separate people tell me
I know, I'm talking to shit.
that they love Waterdeep. So we're definitely going to continue with that. It is one of the more successful side projects that we have. So
I think we both have fun doing it. So
and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, we're definitely going to be doing some more Waterdeep very, very soon. But I just wanted to pimp out the fact that 2 and 3 are both out there for you to listen to if you've been patiently waiting for those. So with that, Todd, that's all I got this week. Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
I just want to die. No, I'm just that's it.
Your wish will be granted. No,
Ooh, no.
We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening. Get fucking dunked on. Bye.
See ya.
Hey there, thanks for checking out another fantastic Nerd Bourbon video. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, leave us a like, drop us a nice comment, or I guess a mean one if that's your prerogative. But until next time, get dunked on.